All right, listen, y'all. So I just got out of watching the Superman Legacy movie, and I'm gonna make this review right now, but I'm probably gonna post it in the morning because yeah, I don't like to wait too long because mainly I post a lot of spoilers. But I won't necessarily post a lot of spoilers on this one. But listen, y'all got till the morning to find out what that movie is all about. Cause I gotta talk about it. I gotta talk about it in full. So yeah, I'm probably gonna post this in the morning. Anyway, the movie. I got some notes. It was so dang good. That movie was great. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you do it. That's how I want the Superman movie to be. It was nearly perfect. It was nearly perfect. That's how it's supposed to be done. This Superman movie was great. It was, I feel like, now this is just my opinion. You ain't got to feel this way. Nobody has to feel this way. This is just my opinion. I felt like for live action versions of Superman, this is as close as we got to the actual character of Superman in a long time. Maybe not ever because Reeve is still top tier, but this is as close as we've gotten in a long time. I love this movie. That's how it's supposed to be done. Now, the movie starts off with a bit of a time skip. I think they skipped over the official origin story because we know it by now. Okay, we watched Man of Steel. We watched all the other ones. You know how he got here from another planet and all that other stuff and Doom World, all that stuff. So they skipped over that. They got right into it. They skipped the origin story. They skipped his mother making the suit for him getting into the Daily Planet and somehow getting a job, him making up the glasses deal as a costume to differentiate Clark from Superman. Matter of fact, they skipped Lois finding out about him being Clark in Superman. They skipped all that. We start off in the movie. He's already got a job at the Daily Planet. Him and Lois are already dating. They're already going through the motions, the ins and outs of dating. They're already going through that. We jump off into the movie already in a fight. He's already facing a foe. Everybody is so comfortable with Superman doing all these things that they're just like, there's a monster basically there's a monster in the sky. They still, eating ice cream, ordering hot dogs. Ain't nobody trying to get out of the way because they so used to Superman saving the day just so well that they not even afraid anymore. Like, yeah, there's a monster attacking the city and Superman, I'll handle it. Yes, listen, put some relish on my hot dog. That's how that's how used to it they are at this point. Like that's the kind of time skip we've gone. Uh but yeah, in this new timeline, in this new Superman deal, we have sort of super friends in the form of a group consisting of Hawk Girl, Mr. Terrific, and Green Lantern Guy Gardner that y'all seen in the previews probably. But they're called the Justice Gang. Yeah, gang. They're called the Justice Gang. And Guy Gardner came up with it. Oh my gosh, Guy Gardner is a freaking moron in this movie. But yeah, there's like a sort of some super friends that kind of help out Superman in some of his saves in the city, and it's called the Justice Gang. And yeah, they are really bad at this. They're not very good at this. Superman is trying his best to save collateral damage, but with Guy Gardner in charge of a group, no. I mean, Mr. Terrific tries his best to come up with a comprehensive plan, but Guy Gardner's in charge of the group. So there's a lot of damage with this Justice Gang trying to help out Superman. But yeah, we got a new group consisting of Guy Gardner, Hulk Girl, and Mr. Terrific called the Justice Gang. They help out with Superman sometimes in Metropolis. But as far as the plot synopsis of the movie, basically, we're already into the fact that Lex Luthor hates Superman and he wants to turn the public and the world against metahumans as a whole, but mainly against Superman. So, I mean, it's pretty much, you may as well call Lex Luthor Michael J. Fox because it's Spin City. That's the plot synopsis. Spin control. Tell the story and steer it towards a way that paints Superman as the invading force meant to take over us under the guise of a good old boy. But really, he's the first harbinger of an invading force that's going to come and try to take over the world. So we can't trust him, and he's trying to spin control these narratives to paint Superman as a bad person. He is creating all these plans and making all these monsters and doing all this stuff to get Superman turned around, and he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know right from left or anything like that. Meanwhile, the whole thing he's trying to do is manipulate the people, manipulate Superman's friends, manipulate his parents, even manipulate the reputation of his birth parents. Turn everybody against Superman and metahumans as a whole. And he feels as though the only metahumans that are good are the ones under his boot heel. That's the only ones. So as far as villains that work for him, he's got this whole team of people like IT guys that work for him and do his bidding. Then we got the two metahumans under his heel that work for him that are busy fighting Superman and taking his eye off the ball so he doesn't figure out what Lex is actually doing. But yeah, that's pretty much the plot synopsis. As far as the setting goes, I like this one. In this new Superman, everything is bright. I think they listened to the people that were complaining about Man of Steel being too dark and too serious. So they made this one bright, more like the actual Superman. The colors, the sky is bright, the costumes are bright, the setting is very nice. It's a sunny day in Metropolis. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of monsters going around, and there's a freaking kaiju trying to destroy the city. There's some kind of Thousand Eyes restrict looking thing in the sky that the Justice Gang is fighting. But for the most part, the setting is brightly colored, is a lot of collateral damage, buildings crashing into other buildings. It's a lot of stuff going on. Plus, you get to switch from Metropolis to like a Middle Eastern country that they, I think they made up a Middle Eastern type of country that's going to war against another Middle Eastern type of country. But we switch from Metropolis to that country. So yeah, we get a bit of a setting change, but mainly everything is brightly colored, and that's what I like about it. It's more hopeful. It looks more hopeful. Although a lot of bad things is going on, it's brighter colored and yeah, more like the actual Superman character. So the setting was good. I liked the setting. It's like the exact opposite of watching the Batman. When you see what Gotham looks like, yeah, Metropolis is the exact opposite. So they did good with the setting, in my opinion. The music The music was good. It's mostly a Superman theme song type of hopeful sounding music that goes along with the scene. It gets you ready. It gets you pumped. It's mostly mood music. That's pretty much what the music is in this movie, and it works. It works. It did good. The music was good. At towards the end of the movie, it had more named songs. One by Iggy Pop. I like that one. I like that one. Apparently, Superman is a punk rocker. Apparently, Superman likes punk rock music, but he might have just faked that for Lois. No, no, I don't think so. No, he likes punk rock music, but towards the end, they had more named songs. But mainly, it was the Superman theme and mood music all throughout the movie to set the tone for the scenes. So yeah, the music was good. The pacing of it was okay. This is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. If people don't like this particular type of pacing, that's perfectly fine. But the pacing to me was all over the place. I mean, you switch from one fight to talking to some person. You switch from saving some girl to fighting a kaiju. You switch from that to having a talk with Lex Luthor. You switch from fighting his acolytes to giving a interview with Lois Lane. Superman in the Daily Planet is all over the place, and to me personally, that's what I like. I liked that it was all over the place, and you never get time to rest. There is no slowing down for this movie. The pacing is bam, 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 bam. Now, action all the way through the movie. And me personally, I think that's what DC is like. I think it's super chaotic, not like Marvel that has to follow a step by step plan and one thing adds up to another and it all is one cohesive story and it makes sense. No, I don't think that's how DC is. And I like that about DC. It's chaotic. You have to deal with the problem in front of you right now. It has to be now and it's all over the place and it's action all the time. I mean, DC did come from Action Comics. So it makes sense to me that there be a lot of action. And that's what it is in this movie. When it comes to the pacing, it's a lot of action. It's like talking and dialogue makes a featured appearance in this movie. Like a little bit of featured appearance from dialogue. But it's mainly action. And I'm perfectly okay with that. I loved it. It was action all through this movie. I loved that part. I loved the pacing of this movie. It's bam, 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 bam. Action all the way through. I loved it. It was great. As for the characters of this movie, I like the Lex Luthor that they did. Now, am I saying he's Michael Rosenbaum good? No freaking way. No freaking way is he Michael Rosenbaum good. But he's not a bad Lex Luthor. He's not. He reminds me of the All Star Superman animated movie. He reminds me of that Lex Luthor. But of course, it's Nicholas Hoult, so he's white. But the All Star Lex Luthor was black. But he acts just like that one. Lex Luthor will create all of these elaborate schemes and plans, and he'll do all this super genius stuff. I mean, genius stuff you can't possibly think of. Wormholes, different dimensions. He'll do all this just to discredit Superman. I mean, that guy will create a whole multiverse on his own if it means to discredit Superman. Lex Luthor, I mean, he makes it his life goal to discredit Superman and metahumans as a whole. He's like some super genius, but he acts like a baby. He acts like a little toddler when it comes to Superman. And that's what is kind of like with All Star Superman, that animated movie, the Lex Luthor in that. all those elaborate plots just to say that, oh, Superman made me do it. He made me act crazy. Like, he manipulated the media, the people, he orchestrated wars, he created all these elaborate things that it takes a super genius. It took Mr. Terrific himself to try to combat this guy. He did all of that just to discredit Superman. That's how crazy he was to stop Superman. So yeah, Lex Luthor was good in this. He's not Michael Rosenbaum good. Gene Hackman, my favorite version of Lex Luthor. He wasn't that good, but he was good. He was good. Lois, she did a good job. I couldn't stand her. The actual Lois Lane from comic books, can't freaking stand her. Quite frankly, I want her gone. Yeah, Rachel did a good job as Lois Lane. She challenges Superman like a lot, but it's never in like malicious intent. Okay, and you can tell that she actually does have feelings for Clark and Superman, but she does challenge him, and she is very smart. She will hunt down that story. So yeah, she was a good Lois. She was a good Lois. She does act like the comic book Lois Lane. So Rachel did a good job as Lois Lane. Now, do I like her more than the Man of Steel Lois Lane? Of course not. Of course not. But that's mostly for physical purposes. Anyway, whatever. uh Perry. Wendell Pierce, who plays Perry White in this movie, it's like his job to find the fattest cigar and chew on it the whole movie. That's what he is. But he is in charge. He's a pretty decent Perry. He's barely in the movie, so it barely matters what he's doing. But you can tell he appreciates his team that he's got going on. Steve Lombard, Cat Grant, uh, Jimmy Olsen, and Lois Lane. He appreciates all the inner workings of what's going on, and he trusts his team. So he was a good Perry White for all the time that we saw him in. Jimmy, he was a good Jimmy. Skylar Gisondo, I think is his name. Skylar, I felt like Skylar was playing himself in the movie instead of actual Jimmy. But here's the thing. It's like an inverse of the Lois and Clark New Adventures of Superman. That version of Jimmy, it's like Skylar played an inverse of that. You can tell he's a hard worker. He'll get the information that he needs to get for Perry White. Perry White likes him, although he'll never admit it. Perry White treats him like a son. But where the Lois and Clark version of Jimmy was constantly chasing after women, this Jimmy, women are constantly chasing after him. That guy has roster after roster after roster of women just hounding him. It was weird. I thought Skylar was playing himself, not Jimmy. But yeah, new Tessmacher. She acts like the other Tessmachers. Stupid girl. Very stupid girl. Pretty much there to just look pretty and hang around Lex Luthor. But she pulls it together in the end. You gotta see it. Crypto. That dog is silly. He didn't act like the comic book Crypto. He was just like a really excitable dog that just can't wait to see Superman. And he's almost a detriment to the mission. But sometimes he has his moments where he shines, and he shined in this movie where when it really counted. So I like this Crypto. It's not the Crypto from the comic books, but I like it. It was nice. The Engineer, tragic girl. The villains in the movie, the Engineer and Ultraman, they actually had Ultraman be created by Lex. It's like It's like a black noir. Uh, what's his name from The Boys? It's like a black noir type of situation where take off the mask. Holy crap! It's Ultraman. You look like just like me. I mean, if you know Ultraman, you know he looks just like Superman. Come on now, these aren't spoilers here. It's Ultraman. He's gonna look like Superman, just like Black Noir is gonna look like his doppelganger. But yeah, Engineer, sad case. She fully drunk the Kool-Aid of Lex Luthor and believes Superman is the bad guy. But oh man, when you see the movie, it's kind of a heartbreak seeing her try to fulfill what Lex Luthor wants. Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like to see it. Now she's a good character. I like the Engineer character. I just she's such a sad case. I didn't like to see that. Ultraman is so stupid. I loved it. I freaking loved it. No, he didn't snort any kryptonite, but what he did do, I loved it. He was a freaking moron. You have to explain stuff step by step by step to him. You have to spoon feed him all the information. He is such an idiot. Oh my gosh, Ultraman was so dumb in this movie. I freaking loved it. he was like as dumb as Bizarro, but as overpowered as Bizarro too. Like he's actually stronger than Superman, but he's an idiot. And I liked it. I like where they went with Ultraman. Superman himself, though, oh my goodness, it was almost my favorite part of the movie. He is so underwear on the outside, extract bright colors, hope in the sky. Yes, he was such a close Superman to what Superman actually is supposed to be. He was so cheesy. Oh my gosh. He was such a cheesy character. He's super preachy. He's a good old boy. His parents love him. Oh my gosh. His parents is just like, you can't tell them that they didn't personally make this kid. Like Ma and Paul Kent had this kid together. You can't tell them no different. They love Clark. They love Clark so much. You can't tell them that that's not their actual kid. In their mind, they are his biological parents. You can't tell them no different. They love Clark so much, and you can really tell it from Paul Kent. But yeah, Superman, brightly colored suit, underwear on the outside. I freaking love they brought that back. Finally, underwear on the outside. It works too. He looks pretty imposing in the suit at times. I like that. But yeah, he's so cheesy. He's such a cheesy character. He's such a good old boy type, and he's very preachy to Lex and to everybody else. you got to ask yourself, where were you taught all this stuff? He's such a country person, just like his adoptive parents. They were so close to the actual Superman from the comic books. He did a great job. Corn Sweat did a great Superman. I really need y'all to keep this one. This Superman was so good. I mean, literally, he was a good person. He's not some bro type trying to be imposing. He's trying to be cool. No, he's not. He is almost the definition of the comic book type of Superman. He did so good. Corn Sweat did a great job as Superman, and I really want to keep this one. I really want to see this one interact with the Batman, Robert Pattinson's Batman. That would be hilarious. It would be freaking hilarious to see that. But yeah, Corn Sweat did a great job as Superman. Now, the movie isn't without flaws. What went wrong? It looks weird when he flies. It does look weird when he flies. When people were complaining about his face being in the camera, and Sometimes they'll do these angles where he's fighting where they'll zoom in and then zoom out, and they'll do these weird angles where his face is in the camera when he's flying. I didn't quite like that. I didn't like that. Then we got Hawk Girl. The screeching. It was freaking weird. It bothered me so much. The screeching all the time was so weird. It's like the guy that plays the new Jon Stewart. It's like his girl when she was in that movie saying Byron. It's like that. It's that freaking annoying. That's how Hawk Girl screeches in the movie, like an actual Hulk. It's very annoying. Other than that, she was great. She was pretty much like a Hawkman, but like the screeching was very annoying. I didn't like that. Metamorpho, the display of his powers and the Green Lantern's powers, it's not visually good. I didn't like the visuals on that. I didn't like how Metamorpho displayed some of his more higher tier powers. I don't think they showed that off pretty well. And seeing Guy Gardner do the Green Lantern things, for the most part, I didn't like how it looked. But it's hard to make the Green Lantern constructs look cool on film. But yeah, they didn't do a good job with that one. I mean, it had its tiny moments. Sometimes it looked kind of cool, but it didn't look good. I didn't like it. But yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that was wrong with it. Everything else was great. This Superman movie, I'm telling you, I think it's a 9 out of 10. It's near perfect. It's a little bit of bad things with the Screeching Hawk Girl, Metamorphose powers, Green Lantern's powers, but it's not too much bad. It's a 9. It's I dare say 9.5 out of 10. I could stretch it that far. Okay. It's really a 9 out of 10, but I could stretch it to a 9 out of 5 out of 9.5 out of 10. It was a great movie. Oh, I love how they starting this off. Let's jump off from this. This right here, this Superman movie, let's jump off from it. This could make a good Justice League. How they going right here with this? I like where it's going. Yes. Superman Legacy was so good. Very close to the actual Superman from the comic books. Great job, y'all. Great job. 9 out of 10. I could stretch it to 9.5 out of 10. But yeah, if you want to see this movie, if you want to see a real Superman close to the comic book version, see Superman Legacy. It was excellent. Oh, and by the way, a couple characters there, and 2 after credit scenes, but a couple surprise characters in that movie. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm sorry, I skipped over Eddie Gathegi playing Mr. Terrific. He was great. He was a side character, but he didn't feel like a side character. When he was Darwin, he made up for it as Mr. Terrific. He was very useful in this, very smart. He was very good. Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific, awesome job. But yeah, there was a couple of surprise characters in the movie. I'm gonna tell you one drinks too much. Need to calm down with the drinking. That person is gonna make an excellent Red Lantern, and that's all I'm gonna say. That person's gonna make an excellent Red Lantern. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, 9.5 out of 10 for me personally. You should see it.